What's the deal, peeps? What's the deal? Alright, let me get situated. So, lots been going on this last couple of days. So let me start from where I think is best. Alright, so I had went to my cousin's house and I've been trying to block them out because they were like on my nuts for a while. And I had went back to one of my old things that I would use, and it was I can't focus because I can hear the TV. All right, so anyways, it was tea tree oil. All right, so I had used some of that, and I used something else with it, I think. And what ended up happening was like some of that shit got caught in my inner ear, and it kind of like sealed off. Like it got. I think what happened was, I'm not sure if I used hydrogen peroxide. Just don't go using this stuff too. Like unless you're fucking ready to fucking like if you know how to like combat it, because like what ends up happening is like if you ever use something that you don't like or you don't like how it feels, you can use water to break it down. Water breaks down everything, especially hot water or warm water or whatever. You just keep hitting it with water every day, and it'll break it down. So like if some liquids can crystallize, and you don't want that, because they can fucking ping off of that shit, and they put like a really sharp frequency in your ear, and I can tell, bro. Like I can tell what the fuck they're doing, and what they end up doing is they have to like figure out what frequencies and like what energy to focus on you to get past it. Like sometimes they don't know what the fuck they're doing. If you use something new, like totally new that you never used before, they'll fucking react differently, and they'll be like, oh shit, like what the fuck, and they don't know how to like go about it. So like sometimes you end up messing them up. But if you keep messing with it, they end up figuring out like what you're using and stuff, and they'll focus the right frequencies or fucking, melt that shit down, whatever. Anyways, I used a combination of things. It wasn't just two things. It was a combination of things. And then it ended up like blocking my left ear out. Like it felt hard kind of in there. And I couldn't flex my my eardrum when I pop it while pressing, holding your nose down and pressing air. Like when you unclog your ear, you have like, I don't know, you have air in your ear. I don't know what the fuck. It's like when it pops when you go up in high altitudes and you hear like you feel it pop or something. Well, if you hold your nose and you press and you press with air, it'll pop your eardrum. And then you can suck it in as well and suck in your eardrum. So like it ends up pulling liquid in there. So I did that, and then dude, they were fucked up, dude. Like the fucking gang stalking, everything was off, bro. They couldn't get shit right? Like, and I was gonna leave it like that, but I didn't know what was gonna happen, like if it dried up or whatever. So like I knew it was still kind of like liquid in there. It was just blocked off with like liquid inside. So like the only thing though is that when I would sleep, bro, they would fucking hit me hard, bro. Like, so the thing is that, like I said, sometimes it blocks out certain things and sometimes it blocks out the other. When I use olive oil, it helps me sleep, and it blocks out a lot of shit. And the gang stalking and stuff like that, it's still there, like very little, but you're able to sleep well. I don't dream for shit. Like I hardly ever dream, bro. Like I hardly ever dream. And when I fucking used this fucking that tea tree oil, bro, I was getting fucking vivid ass dreams, bro. Like I was dreaming like there were spiders crawling on me, and it felt real, bro. Like I can feel the motherfucking spiders, bro. Like I was having these crazy ass dreams. And it's kind of crazy because Hold on one sec. Let me try to give you guys a picture because I don't want you guys to just stare at a screen. So so yeah, I was having these fucking crazy dreams, right? Like just weird fucking dreams, like kind of they were not like they were not horror, but most of them were negative. Like it felt like it was like some bad juju, like you know what I mean? Some crazy ass dreams, bro. So I was just like, dude, I was fucking obviously asleep, but you see this dude tripping out, right? I was asleep, bro, and like I just remember just like weird fucking dreams, bro, and I was just like, damn, I can't do this shit. Like, and I would keep waking up at night, like wake up at 3 in the morning. And that's the thing, like whenever you use something different, you'll see different effects. Like I've tried so many things, and I would see different things, and whenever it's like a very strong ingredient, like a strong smell, strong sense, it's gonna give you like that type of targeting where they're gonna be able to amplify your dreams more and stuff like that. So if you use anything like alcohol, like isotropic alcohol, like anything that's a strong odor, it's gonna I don't know how the fuck they use it, but they do. So I was gonna leave it like that. I was gonna leave it because the gang stalking was just literally fucking gone, bro. Like it was literally fucked. But I was just like, dude, I like my sleep. I don't like being fucked with when I'm sleeping. Like I'd rather get the gang stalking than be fucked with and in my sleep. Like so, um, I ended up like using something that I don't really use, and it kind of made it worse. But I kind of like I fixed it a little bit, but I ended up fixing it completely. I'm not worried about it. But like these motherfuckers are all desperate, bro, because like they have to kind of figure it out and like fucking focus different energies on me and like try to figure out what the fuck I did and shit. And like it's funny because I'm just like, dick, like these fools are lame, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like they fucking they come out of their house, they turn their fucking music up. Like if you're sensitized, like if your ears are sensitized, like if they open up, right, your the sound is more you know it's more loud. You know what I mean? So it's it's gonna fuck with you, bro. You know what I mean? It's gonna fuck with you. And like so, but they come out. It's like they're doing it on purpose because like you don't notice them. So they'll turn on their car and they'll leave right away. They'll fucking book it, they'll just leave. Like when you have them blocked out like I have, they'll just turn on their car and they'll leave and you don't really notice them. But when your fucking ears are they're sensitized if you're not blocking them out, they're gonna fucking turn on their car, like rev their engine and shit, and then like as soon as you walk out there they leave and shit. So I'm just like, dick, whatever, you little fucking punk ass bitches. Fucking enjoy your little 2 seconds of fame. I'll have you motherfuckers fucked up by the end of the week. You know what I mean? Like all I gotta do is just work on it, bro. Like it's like you have to make the right decisions like now in my position in order to block them out completely. Like you have to know what the fuck you're doing and know what the fuck to use and shit like that. So if you're using something new, you never know what the outcome's gonna be. You don't know if it's gonna be good or bad. But the thing is that you know what you have used and you know what works. So like you can go back to that. So yeah, right now I'm just kind of like, you know what I mean, like fucking cleansing that shit up. So I'm not really tripping on it. Um, so So yeah, like it's just a trip, bro. Like fucking, I've been having like hella military helicopters, hella fucking, like in the last couple of days, the last couple of weeks. I mean, like the last 2 weeks or whatever. I've been having like hella activity, bro. Like these motherfuckers like being on me, bro. Like, and now it's like kind of like I don't know. Now that I'm using, even though it kind of like wasn't good at first, it's still new to them, to me. So the fucking targeting is off. Just in general, it's off. I had like niggas like sitting in their car, like trying to fucking stare at their phone, like they don't know when to queue and shit. Like they don't know when to get out of their car and shit like that. And then I'll trigger them. So like when I'll come out of like my door, they'll look up and stare at me. So instead of me like sensing them and my sixth sense will be triggered, their sixth sense is triggered. So it's just funny because like I've used shielding like that before, and instead of me being triggered, it's them, and usually that's how it always is. They could they could sense me, but what they don't like is when they can't sense me at all, and I'm not pulling up on their phone and shit like that. They're not able to queue on time. You know what I mean? I have these fuckers like looking at me and shit, fucking, and they don't know when the fuck to fucking, they don't know when to fucking come out, bro. They look like this fucking scary ass fucking hyena right here. Fucking, fucking, I'm retarded. Fucking, I don't know what the fuck to do. You know what I mean? They turn around, they look at you. They're fucking, they're instead of us worrying about them. You know what I mean? Like, cause they can trigger your fucking brain to react sometimes, depending on like I said, how much you're blocking them out. But I got these fucking theater motherfuckers fucking just walking around stupid with their fucking heads cut off like fucking chickens. But yeah, bro, like right now, like it's kind of up in the air. Like I don't know how this shit's gonna play out, but most likely it always plays out in my favor because I roll with the Most High, and God is good, and He always looks out for His people. So I stand by that, and I represent that till the day that I'm gone. So we don't gotta be looking scary like these fucking clowns, but like for people that know what I'm talking about, like see people that come to my channel, they're like, oh well, this dude's probably tripping or whatever they want to think. Like until you've experienced what we're all going through, you can't really relate to what I'm talking about. And it's not serious to you, but it's serious to us because we're being messed with on a daily basis where people can't see. People don't know, or they try to pretend like they don't know. And the government knows, and fucking a lot of people do know what's happening to us. They just try to fucking brush it under the rug and act like we're the bad guys for some fucking weird ass reason. But they're just narcissistic pieces of trash that fucking like seeing people suffer for what? What did they do to you or to whatever the fuck cause that they're fucking parading about this person? You know what I mean? Like what cause is just enough for fucking thousands of people to gang stalk and harass and torture somebody till they commit suicide or hurt someone. You know what I mean? Like this shit's cruel and unusual punishment from the government just because you're labeled a supposed terrorist, and they can put anybody on this watch list. Anybody. Look it up for yourself. It's possible, bro, and we're going through it. We're living examples, living proof of what the fuck's going on. And only we know it because this technology is so sophisticated that it's hard to prove. That's like trying to prove aliens exist. It's the technology is out there. Obviously, they have satellites, they have weapons that they've talked about, they have patents that you can look up. They have all this shit out there. It's just like, oh yeah, well, there's a patent out there, but do they really have the technology? Or, is it really real? I haven't seen it for myself. Can they read your mind? Can they project thoughts in your head? Can they do all this shit? Well, obviously, we know that they can, but to somebody that's not being targeted, they're going to be obviously skeptical. They're going to be like, oh yeah, well, I never seen it, because that's how people live. If they haven't seen it, a lot of people won't believe. But there are a few that are smart and that are they're woke or woken or whatever you want to call it, and they know what the fuck's going on too, even though they're not being targeted. They can see it, they can tell by just the information that that they read or they learn. So it just depends on the person, bro, and their aspect of things and whatever. But yeah, bro, like right now I'm kind of just like whatever, you know what I mean? I'm still fucking we're still trying to find a place to move. And for the most part, the electricity right here is not really that bad. I thought it was going to be worse, but I think honestly, in my opinion, we're getting like, since we have a fight mentality, especially me, I think our bodies get somehow like immune to it, like a sickness, right? Like if you strengthen your mind or you strengthen your body and you just keep ignoring it or you keep on fighting it, I think eventually like it does start to build some type of defense against it. But I'm not sure exactly. In my opinion, that's just assumption. But I don't know. I don't know if they're fully using their full fucking arsenal on us as well. Like I think they probably have worse fucking weapons that they can use. You know what I mean? If they really wanted to focus on your ass, I mean they'll put like 10 fucking satellites on you. Park these fucking trucks, near you and shit like that. I could only imagine. You know what I mean? If they really wanted to fuck with somebody like bad, they can fucking do it. But they just need the energy. You know what I mean? So like they would fucking park like 3 trucks, fucking 10 satellites parked above you, you can't see. Fucking like just amp the shit up on you big time. Like they'll hit you, bro. But the thing is too, is that if you're blocking them, I mean, can they even do it? You know what I mean? Like what happens if it'll make that shit obsolete and only certain things they can use against you? You know what I mean? That's why maybe, I don't know. That's possible. It's also an assumption, but whatever. If that's the case, that'll be fucking hella dope because shit, these motherfuckers are gonna have to. The only thing they could do is probably focus energy on my heart and like make me have a heart attack because they can't target me properly. Like that's the thing I would assume that they would be possible to do. You know what I mean? But besides all that, bro, like I'm straight. I'm fucking. I'm enjoying watching my little niece grow up, and it's cool that like my sister ended up having a kid. Like it was the first child in our family. And it sucks that my dad's not here. To see her grow up too. But he's watching from another place, hopefully better than this one. Um, but yeah, I kind of want to talk about some things that I've seen online about the moon being like a soul trapper or something. Like I kind of interested in that story. So like I don't know if you guys ever heard of that stuff, but like supposedly the moon traps souls. Shit. Yeah, so it's something on TikTok like soul harvesting, like they reincarnate you and stuff like that. I don't know. To me, like I always thought that the moon was kind of trippy and like I don't know, something like I feel like that it focuses on me, bro. Like honestly. Hold on real quick. I don't want to hear this bullshit. No, no, no. All right, so let's see here. There's a few things on here I wanted to share. God damn.
I've been man. You're into TM. You're into TM, right?
Yes, I do TM.
I want to get into that.
And it's made me super creative in my unconscious. I have started vivid dreaming.
Brother.
And I had a dream the other night where an entire game show idea came to me. I sold it to Fox the next day.
Are you
It all
serious?
came to me in my dream.
I would like to take a moment for our fans. I just want to say you're welcome. You're welcome. That I'm not going to tell Rob Lowe one of my dreams. You're welcome. I just want you to know that I know what you're thinking. Oh, fuck. Here comes Bert telling Rob one of his shitty fucking dreams.
Are you a king of shitty dreams?
I have the most intense dreams you've ever met out of anyone. No. I have, Rob, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to.
Terrible. The reason why you're not falling asleep is because when your environment quiets, your mind wakes up. You're thinking about the most innocuous little nonsense. It's like, did I get everything on my grocery list? Did my belt match my shoes today? Did I return that email? It's nothing that couldn't wait till the next day. If you just put the right amino acid balance, if you have this gene mutation, COMT, you take L-methionine, you take methylfolate, and depending on where the gene break is and how severe it is, you may add something called SAMe, S-adenosylmethionine. When they take this supplement, their body's no longer deficient. Deficiencies over time express themselves as all kinds of things. The reason why you're...
You've cured everything that was wrong with me. Let me bring in Gary. What have you done to Dana to make him so enthusiastic and to, in his eyes, prolong his life?
So he went on a strict keto diet. He had a strict exercise and workout routine. We also started to use modalities that you can access for free in nature, but he actually bought equipment. And before everybody jumps on me for saying that you have to buy all this expensive equipment, you can get the same effect by taking your shoes off and grounding on the surface of the earth, learning to do breath work, and exposing your skin to sunlight. So he did magnetism, oxygen, and light with a PMF mat, oxygen, and a red light bed. And he went on a strict 10-week keto reset diet.
It's fascinating.
I'll give you 3 things now that will start rewiring neural pathways.
Please, go.
Get up in the morning.
Get up early in the morning.
Not early, just get up in the morning. If you get up at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, go straight into the bathroom. If you brush your teeth with your right hand, start brushing with the left. Look into the mirror. Now we're talking to the subconscious brain. Eye to eye in the mirror and say, I love you 10 times. When you finish that, let's get some oxygen inside you to start the day. Exaggerated breaths to start the day.
How many breaths?
I always tell my guys do 25 in the morning, 25 lunchtime, 25 in the evening.
Okay, so left-handed teeth brushing.
Yes.
Look straight in the eye in the mirror. I love you, I love you, I love you 10 times.
Yes.
And exaggerated breaths. 25.
Change your life. I'll give you 3.
What is it, a show?
I saw this dude give a story on TikTok. He went to Bluff City.
The songs you sing out loud, the songs you sing out loud actually manifest.
When they had too much to drink and...
Oh, yes, I love her like...
Pussy, money, weed. Pussy, money, weed. Pussy, money, weed.
I was talking to a guy by the name of Gary Brecka, and he said, you know, Luke, I've been studying vibrational frequencies for about 12 years now. On the highest side, you have gratitude and love. Above that, you have this idea of enlightenment. But what does enlightenment even mean? He said, Luke, you know what? I was putting people in a Faraday cage contraption where no 5G, no Wi-Fi signals can come in, and they play subjects in there. And he said, you know what I found, Luke, to be that highest form of vibration? 400 times the frequency of love. It was the frequency of authenticity. The highest form of living life is living life authentically, being the truest version of yourself. I don't have to impress anybody. I don't have to impress you. You don't have to impress me. Now you begin to live life with no pressure. Now the question is, who are you? And the beauty is that you can define that yourself. I was talking.
Dude, that is so true. Like, that's why I feel like this program, like, it tries to, like, steer us in whatever direction that it wants. Like, because we're, like, super authentic people. And we resonate, like we have a high brain resonance, and like I still try to remain authentic, like, you know what I mean, for the most part. But like, I mean, there's only so much what you can do when you're being targeted, you know what I mean? But like, that's what they're trying to strip away from us, like our authenticity, our love, like our true nature. You know what I mean? Like, don't let them take that from you. Like, still try to be yourself. Still try to, like, do the things that you like to the best of your capability. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I am, dude. Like, I still, like, I go out. I'm able to still live, you know, because I'm blocking them out. If I wasn't able to block them out, I'd still be able to do stuff, but not as much as I'm doing right now. I know that for a fact. And, I'm telling you guys, like, to try this technique that I always talk about, but you know, it's only up to you. It's only up to you guys until you guys get fed up with it and want to try it yourself.
Who is the greatest spiritual teacher and why?
Fungus. I love to have this conversation with people because if there were extraterrestrials that landed on planet Earth, humans wouldn't be the ones that they would be initially talking to as the most intelligent species. They're just particularly dominant. It's the fungus that they would be talking to because that is the most intelligent species on Earth. It's completely connected. I mean, it holds a state of connectivity within the web of life on Earth that is unmatched. That's number one. Number two, it holds its connection still to non-physical. So it's a bridge being. That's why I'm calling it a spiritual teacher, right? Because many organisms, when they plug into this time-space reality, they're fully here. It's like entering into a video game, but you forget everything that's outside of it. You are just the avatar. Fungus is more fundamentally connected to what is beyond the avatar that they're experiencing.
So what you smoking on nowadays?
What's up, everybody? So I have to tell you guys a secret. I think I cured myself with this product. That is not a joke. I think I cured myself. Like when you mix a little bit of this with a little bit of organic honey, throw in a little Kizzy Cayenne, yeah. I have dandelion root, a little 3 tablets. Take the dandelion root. Don't forget the black seed oil. This is essential. Okay, now that it's all mixed, drink up. Don't taste the best, not at all. Ugh. But what I can tell you is that for the last 3 months, I have been religiously taking this product here. And it's the reason why it's the only product in my TikTok shop or however you want.
God damn.
This is the newly invented electric stove.
Guys, I can't make this shit up.
When people talk their thoughts.
These on, boy. Pretty sick.
You don't need keys when you have.
Enough about you to like stalk you, to like watch you 24/7.
It's not about being in delusion or psychosis when child trafficking, human trafficking, is a $150 billion industry. It's also really important to know that when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, when that was signed, then the IRS was created also by Lincoln. Dr. Robert Duncan. Dr. Robert Duncan speaks on the technology that is being developed right now and has been for the past 10, 15, 20 years since he has worked closely with government agencies.
Your great-grandfather, he's dead, right? So we can bring him back to life. We can use his voice. We can voice more of him, and we can project it, and we'll say using the microwave hearing effect with a robot. We will go through, it doesn't matter if you had a good relationship with him or bad, we're going to turn him into a bad guy. Let's say you're going to respect him or something. I know this is a very off-the-wall kind of scenario, but they make it much more personal than that.
So whose voice do you hear?
Tell them
My family.
Your family's
My
voice.
family. They live in Germany. They speak Russian and German. I speak Russian, bad Russian now, and English. So all my V2K is in Russian. It is, yes. It's my mother, my father, my brother, and his wife. And they all talk about my lifestyle choices, everything derogatory. And I know it's not them, it's artificial intelligence, because nobody talks 24/7. play voice audiobooks nonstop, so my brain will concentrate on that rather than on what's being projected into my brain.
Does it help at all? What helps? What helps you cope with this most? What have you done? What have you tried?
Distracting. Sometimes I have to use my own voice. I have to talk to somebody. The second it stops, the second the silence begins, the voices come back. And they also use something like, if you have some kind of white noise, like a fan or a AC, it rides on it. It piggybacks on those frequencies.
That's called EEG heterodyning. So the nerve cells from your ears to your brain can also be stimulated. So if there's a nice background noise, broad spectrum, it can even be pink noise, which means lower noise spectrum. It can
really recommend that you take a stroll over to YouTube and check out some of his videos, because he's highly knowledgeable in that and the targeting of United States citizens.
So, like, honestly, like with V2K, like what they're talking about, like how they're amplifying sound towards me, like maybe they can't amplify. I don't know why they don't amplify voices, but they amplify sound. So, like, I don't know if it's similar to V2K, but yeah.
There's a large amount of... He's one of those kids that only laugh.
He is held to in terms of understanding the law and procedure.
I am finally in a quiet place.
People who eat hot dogs eat them because they taste so good. But within them, it's not so good. You know, we've learned to accept it, but I don't know if you'll feel so accepting after this. The company Clear Foods recently analyzed 345 hot dog and sausage products from 75 brands and retailers and found, are you hot dog lovers ready for this? Human DNA in 2% of the samples and in 2/3 of the vegetarian samples. And get this, 10% of all vegetarian products appear to contain meat. Clear Foods says that there are some companies...
Dude, that's what I'm thinking, like, bro, like people that are trying to eat healthy, like are they saying vegetarian? I think they're trying to poison the food more, because people that are trying to be aware, they're trying to like poison even more, because they know like, okay, well, they're trying to get away from it, or we're gonna fuck with their food even more. So like, as a person that's trying to break free from this cowardly system, I would suggest that you guys do all your own testing. Still wash your vegetables, soak them in baking soda, and you know, whatever you can soak them in. There's a lot of different things you can soak them in. And still, like, do your due diligence to fucking clean your food, bro, because this shit is everywhere.
Yeah, what up? Stealth Kitchen, welcome back. I've been watching a lot of videos about grinding your own meat. I've been grinding my own meat. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get started. I got this for $25 on Amazon. That's all it takes to get started grinding your own meat. This is some chuck roast. Probably about half a pound of chuck roast or so. I'm using the coarse grind. I find it's better for what I'm using it for. Just grind it up. Use it for whatever you want. Look at that. Fresh ground beef. Look at that. Tacos, spaghetti, whatever you want.
I'm telling you guys, bro, you guys better get up on game.
This component of the list said by, told by FBI agents is the known and suspected terrorists. But for non-investigative subjects, they're not supposed to know that they're on that list of non-investigative subjects that comprises 97% of the database.
97% of the database is non-suspected terrorist or something, that so that they put you on because you could be, but they're not sure yet, and that's 97%. So you're not on a no-fly list, but you're still being targeted pretty much.
It's important that you note, I have to say probably 90%, I haven't counted them, but most of the statements of fact that are put forth in the complaint come from statements under penalty of perjury by FBI agents in other litigation. I didn't make any of it up. In fact, in many occasions, I cited exactly the deposition statement or the statement in a document. So I didn't make any of the stuff up that's there. So courts have not had the opportunity to review what it is to be put in a list where you are, put in a list for some nefarious reason. You are not given notice of it. You're not given an opportunity to challenge it, and you're not given an opportunity to get out of it. And that's one difference from the prior cases, because in the prior cases, it said Congress has provided redress proceedings for the people that are known or suspected terrorists. Why did they know they were in the list? Because they tried to travel, and they couldn't travel. As we all know, NIS, us, we can travel around, or we can get, a license for a gun or whatever, and we don't get that much trouble because we're not terrorists. We're not associated with terrorism. This component of the list.
On January 11th, we filed a lawsuit, and it might not be a surprise to you that the three principal defendants that are Christopher Wray, who is the chief of the FBI, Alejandro Mayorkas, and Mary Garland. The three of them, 3 weeks ago, got articles of impeachment in the House of Representatives that will be, processed in the congressional way, whatever. So we filed suit against them first, like I say, to on a declaratory judgment, to get a declaration from the court saying it is illegal to have non-terrorists on a terrorist database. That's a principal claim. The second claim also is, there's also for damages. And one of our plaintiffs, who is Dr. Lambert, I think he's like the first civilian that was diagnosed with Havana syndrome by Dr. Halfer in Miami. And the important part about Havana syndrome is that it's in the law we have an expression called it's res ipsa loquitur, which is the thing speaks for itself. And you cannot have Havana syndrome if you have not been the victim of directed energy weapons attack. I didn't say that. That has been said by the National Academies of Sciences and Engineering. So that's one of our plaintiffs. After 6 months of being attacked with directed energy weapons, you develop Havana syndrome. And it's not like just standing in front of your microwave oven does it. So that is part of the allegations are not only the torment and the torture that many of these people have gone through, but also the physical damages. And obviously the declaratory judgment that if they are not terrorists, they shouldn't be in a terrorist database. And subject to the defamation that entails, many of them try to get a job. They are denied jobs because this list is shared with credit reporting companies, with hiring, like headhunters, that kind of thing, So the government defamation is huge, and it needs to stop. Although there's like 300 to 400,000 estimated in the United States, there are 6 million around the world, and this is really important because people around the world, many of them, they think it's the act of, it's the work of witchcraft. They don't know what's going on with them. Many people, for example, in Europe, they cannot speak about the B2K because they are automatically placed in a mental hospital. I know about this young man in Britain that they inject him every week for being supposedly mentally ill. And if he refuses, they will put him in a mental hospital. And I believe, these are not medications, but chemicals that are injected into people to facilitate, the torture and the mind control. The key part about B2K not being schizophrenia is that medicine doesn't shut it off. And there is a patent for it. And the United States has acknowledged that it has used the auditory microwave beam effect on enemy combatants in Iraq and in Desert Storm, whispering.
We keep seeing not only the weaponization of the Department of Justice against political opponents, but also against parents who show up at school board meetings. They're called, under this DOJ, they're called domestic terrorists.
I know a lot of people back home are wondering, we hear about this weaponization, you guys get up here, you investigate, but nothing ever seems to happen. Think about this for a minute, though. Why this is so critical that we are investigating the weaponization of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice. As was pointed out, if you are a parent and you attend a school board meeting, there could be an FBI agent in the parking lot scribbling down your license plate number.
I'm sad, I'm disappointed, and I'm angry that I have to be here to testify about the weaponization of the FBI and DOJ. Weaponization against not only its own employees, but against those institutions and individuals that are supposed to protect the American people.
Why should people care about surveillance? Because even if you're not doing anything wrong, you're being watched and recorded. And the storage capability of these systems increases every year consistently by orders of magnitude. Anyone.
Fathers did not design a constitution with 4 branches of government. They designed 3, legislative, executive, judicial. They did not design a 4th branch of government, an administrative state that is not accountable to the American people and that abuses its power. That's not in the Constitution. And what happens is, when there's no constitutional accountability, our founding fathers would have absolutely predicted the weaponization that we've seen with these agencies, particularly Justice and FBI, because when you don't have constitutional accountability, human nature is such that they will abuse their power. So the weaponization of these agencies strikes at the heart of what it means to have
fucking cowards.
society. And it's not just affecting people at the top, it's affecting people all throughout our country.
Under Christopher Wray and Mary Garland, the FBI and the DOJ are broken. It is politically weaponized against the American people, using constitutionally protected rights as a predicate to investigate and surveil people. They target conservatives inside and outside of the organization, and they are crushing anyone who dares to report their wrongdoing.
We should be asking ourselves a bigger question about the weaponization of the Department of Justice. When I'm president, the first thing I'll do is fire Merrick Garland. Second thing I'll do, fire Christopher Wray, because we need Lady Justice to wear a blindfold. Without that, no one has confidence in our justice system. 17% of Republicans have confidence in our Department of Justice. Here's why. We keep seeing not only the weaponization of the Department of Justice against political opponents, but also against parents who show up at school board meetings. They're called, under this DOJ, they're called domestic terrorists.
Firing Christopher
But that's all. But that's
shut down the FBI.
Mr.
Actually have the courage to get it right.
Under this DOJ, they're called domestic terrorists.
What is the internal designation given to people who are on that watch list?
Known or suspected terrorist.
Do you need to be a known or suspected terrorist to be given that designation?
No, you do not. There's plenty of evidence that people were put on these lists who were investigated for no reasons. So you're building this expanding pool of suspects based on little or no real evidence.
This is truly the weaponization of government. Whether you are the President of the United States, as we have seen in the Durham report, whether or not you are a parent concerned about your child's education, whether you are just someone who wants to go to Mass, you could find yourself a target of the FBI.
At the end of the day, we will, once and for all, end weaponization of government under my administration. That will happen.
The whistleblowers we will be hearing from today have identified and described egregious abuse, misallocation of law enforcement resources, and misconduct within the leadership ranks of the FBI. In short, the leadership in the FBI is politically corrupt. And they are ruining our flagship and law enforcement agency by targeting politicians, parents, and ordinary citizens. The eye of Sauron, in other words, has been turned on the American people, and it is a frightening time in which we live.
So here's what we need to do.
This is the universal code to consciousness.
I'll tell you the truth about Christianity. Let me go ahead and expose myself to y'all so nobody has to do it later down the line. If you're getting close, let me tell you a secret. I'm a total scoundrel. All day, every day, I have to crucify this flesh right here, which means to tell it no and let it die. All the things it wants to do, all the things it wants to say, all the ways that it wants to act. I'm well practiced at saying no with no consolation. Eat it and die. Furthermore, this is the skilled tongue and by practice of a spiritual assassin. Should I take the bridle off, it'll cut us all to pieces and burn us all to ash with flames set afire by the flames of hell. This flesh of mine has a father, and his name is the devil. And in that one thing, there ain't a man or woman alive on this whole earth different from me. That's the flesh of every single one of you. But I am a new creation, hid in God with Christ. I am not this flesh in blood. And so I bridle this tongue. And I am able to do so because I have brought my members under my subjection by telling myself no in any given thing until I've died to it completely. And even then I must keep a vigilant watch, lest it rise again and devour me entirely. I want you to be very clear that you understand that this man that you see before you is wrestling the angel of the Lord in the valley of the shadow of death. And God help me that I never let go until the day star arises in my heart. Does this sound like Christianity to you? Does this sound like your walk? You better examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Because this is what it is. My flesh wars against my spirit, and my spirit wars against my flesh. And this thing you see I do hate. I hate the garment spotted by this dirt. And I know y'all think I get sharp and even belligerent sometimes, and maybe I do. But you have no idea the restraint that I show every day. All day. I come to tell the truth and I get nothing but contention. All day. Every day. Nobody wants to believe what's true. Why? What else are we here to do? I can't figure any other thing than to find out what's true. What else is there? I've given myself to folly. There is nothing there to be had. I've given myself to worldly studies. They're empty and vain. I have given myself to pleasure, and I found there only pain. I gave my life to Jesus Christ, and it was like breathing air for the first time. He is the life, and there's nothing else. There's nothing else. But I want you to know and understand that if you're not at war, you're not in the faith. And some of us are warring a much bigger war than others, brothers and sisters. Some of us wake up in battle and go to bed in battle and wake up to battle again, and there is no rest from this, ever. Some of us are in front leading the charge, taking all the darts. They hurt. And as for a reward, I have to wait. It's not evident anywhere here. There's no reward for my efforts here that I can see. Y'all want to spend one day in my seat doing this? It's like walking a tightrope that's a razor wire and my feet are cut to pieces. And I got no choice. I gotta keep going. Do I appear condescending sometimes? I deal with idiots and assholes all day, every day, brothers and sisters. I'm sorry for saying that out loud, but that's the truth of it. But I've got no choice but to keep going with what I've got, growing along the way like the rest of us. I will ask for some grace and mercy as I lead the charge, brothers and sisters. I'll tell you the truth about...
A to the man, brothers and sisters. Let's go! think I'm gonna leave it at that.
The truth about Christianity, you yourself cannot get yourself out of this emptiness. Yeah. That hit me, like shook me completely. And I was like, he's like, have you tried? You've tried drugs, you've tried women, you've tried alcohol, you've tried everything. You're making money. Yeah. Why do you still feel like that? Yeah. Because, you know, God's word, he said, another analogy is like the hand, right? And your heart is like a glove. If you try to put money in it, it won't fit. A glove is made for the hand. So your heart is made for the word of God. And I was like, you know, that's why, Johnny, like, you need God. It's not that, you know, you should try to give your life to God. People think he says that they have to do something for God. And then that's when he kind of explained the 6th day. He said, if you think about it, Johnny, you're not Christian, but God made us on the 6th day. I said, okay, what does that have to do with anything? And he goes, you know, on the 6th day, he says, after that he rested. So after God made everything, then he made us, meaning proving to us he didn't need our help. And I was like, wow. He's like, you yourself, Johnny, can't do anything for God. God has to do everything for you. Yeah. And then that's when I was like, oh, it just, this little bit of hope started entering my head. He's like, Johnny, your emptiness is really big to you. It's a problem to you. You're suicidal. I said, yeah. He goes, but do you think it's a problem to God if you actually think about it? Yeah. I was like, not at all. Yeah. And he goes, amen. Yeah. So when you become connected to God, he said, and he used another analogy about electricity. Yeah. He said, you know, there's all this electricity in this world, right? And he says, but if you don't take the cord of a, like, let's say a refrigerator, and you don't plug it into that electricity, it's into the outlet, the refrigerator can't run on its own. Yep. He said, God too, he has all this infinite power, but if you're not connected to him, his power doesn't become yours. You yourself cannot get yourself out.
Let's go, baby. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna stay coming with spiritual guidance, whatever, anything I could help. I'm gonna wrap this video up, but yeah, man, you guys stay strong, stay blessed, stay humble. Praises to the Most High.